Typically, adults in the system, juvenile justice system and the foster care system, consider youth who are rebellious, who don't do what they're told, or who run away, to be unruly, and continued unruly behavior or continued rebellious behavior can ultimately lead in a child being in custody of Department of Juvenile Justice, where they will eventually end up being incarcerated at detention centers, and will ultimately prevent them from possibly accomplishing a lot of stuff they would like to do later in life because of having a juvenile record. It's normal for a child to go through such rebellious acts, not doing everything their parents tell them to, a couple lies here and there, just typical teenage stuff. For an individual who's in the system, they've already had this stereotype against them, so it's already like the deck has been stacked against them. So when they do something, it just magnifies it exponentially, or it just makes it much worse than if a typical teen who was not in the system had made that mistake. And so growing up in the system, when I would talk back to my foster parents, or I would do something that was considered rebellious or a delinquent act, per se, I would get sent to a detention center, or I would have to go to some type of program or some type of anger management class, or the focus would always be on me. And had the system spent a little more time really scrutinizing, really examining where I was located, what my environment was like, who the people around me were, and how they treated me, they would have found out that I wasn't just being a bad kid. I wasn't just being an unruly child. I was actually reacting because of the people around me. And so Article 6 of the Child Protection and Public Safety Act proposes that a new standard be put into place so that these caseworkers are required to take a deeper, in-depth look and a new approach to dealing with kids who are rebellious or unruly. And so what the legislators and what we're proposing for new policy revisions is to change that philosophy of punishing the children because of the actions that they're doing, and to really focus on, why are they doing this? Not not punish them so they won't do it again, but what can we do to provide them with a service so that they'll learn to do something better, or so that they won't make the same mistakes, or so that if the case may call for it, they can remove the child from the abusive environment. So Article 6 is children in need of services. It talks about providing services for children who may run away from their home, who may do certain behaviors, exhibit certain behaviors that may be considered delinquent or against the law, but because of their age as a child, they don't get detained for it. And so it's just more of a preventative measure. It's to provide services for the child.